I really hope this works, otherwise I might actually start crying, because like this just keeps on not working. Like, I've not recorded an episode in like well over a month, so if this doesn't work, then like I might just like completely just like quit. But yeah. Hello and welcome back to the What Is K-Pop podcast, where in which I, your host Sophie, and basically talk all things K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, T-pop, whatever I want to talk about basically. That's in like the Asian music genre. And I try and talk about nice, happy things, but nice, happy things aren't happening in K-pop right now, and it's actually making me really sad. And like literally last night, so I'm recording this on Monday the 14th of October, for clarification, I actually damn near like just completely gave up on K-pop. Last night, if you don't already know, if this episode is going up at all, it was announced that Rise's Seunghan has permanently left the group 3 days after his return was announced. So I'm mad. A lot of people are upset, but the problem is that like companies will always defer to the K netizens, the people who like K-pop, like Korean K-pop fans. That's what I'm trying to say. And unfortunately, that means that Seunghan has left Rise, which is unfortunate, because the thing is that like obviously over here doing the things that Seunghan did, completely just normal, arbitrary, you know. Let's have a look actually, because we're going to just be talking, we're just going to be chatting today. Seunghan, what did he do? I flipping love my search history. So apparently he was smoking in bed with a woman. I'm like, okay, you know, that's actually kind of common, which is like weird. Okay, Korea Boo, Rise Seunghan's past controversy reignite amid his return to the group. Obviously, we now know he has left. Yeah, so he went to a hotel with his girlfriend. Like, I personally think that these pictures are actually real, because they do look like quite like him. I'm like, okay. He kissed his girlfriend. I'm like, okay. And he, like, has it updated? Upset me so much when like, because like it was in the morning actually when I found out that he was coming back. I don't know, on what day was it? It was the 10th, wasn't it? And that was, yeah, Thursday. So the day of my blood test, I like woke up and found out the news. I went for my blood test, I did all the fun things. And then I had my flu jab actually the other day. And so I was like, okay, well I'm still happy that Seunghan's gonna come back. And then I go online, I do the online, this was yesterday, I do the online things. And I was like, oh, I'll just check the news sites just before, like I leave, quote unquote, I leave. I go off the computer and I kind of just do whatever it is that I do. And that's when I found out, like through Korea Boo actually, again with the Korea Boo, Seunghan has officially left Rise. And I was like, okay, well, yeah. And I looked at it and it was like, yeah, he basically said like, I don't want to cause any more issues to my group and the company. I know that a lot of people are upset. And I'm like, I get that the Korean fans are always going to be the most important, but the thing is that like the international fans are going to be so much more. There's going to be so many more international fans, I think, than Korean fans, and you know, like basically like constantly deferring to them is basically just like a punch in the face, saying that our opinions don't matter and that, you know, we can hope for anything, but it's never going to be enough. So that's a thing. So officially on the 10th, after a year-long hiatus, quote unquote, SM announced through Wizard Productions, which is then like a management company, that Seunghan would come back in November. And I remember, and I looked on like I looked a lot of social media, and everyone, like pretty much all of the Korean comments said along the lines of, you know, Rise is so much better with Six, like why would you bring him back? Like it's been so long since you put him on hiatus, like why bother putting him back in now? And a lot of the non-Korean comments were saying like, oh my god, yay, he's back, we love him. And I thought like, oh yeah, no, like because of the amount of comments, the positive comments, SM was gonna keep him. But I mean, the thing is that the Korean audience is so good at like boycotting. Boycott, I don't know how to say that word. I literally don't know how to say that word. So good at withdrawing their support, especially with like things that we've seen with like Luna and stuff, and like you know, the stuff we saw with Kristen, you know, a couple of years ago with Kayla, of not wanting to support her. They literally, like, people who were like photographing her literally turned their cameras away from this girl, obviously Kayla, and were like, we refuse to take pictures of her, we are only taking pictures of the other members. And I've completely forgotten my train of thought. You know, if like, even like with Rise going out, like with artists going out and doing stuff, the press is always going to kind of be around, fans are going to be around to like kind of give them that support. And if they don't, then obviously it's going to affect like the members and like the thinking of the company to carry on having the artists around. And it's like, it's sad because, you know, not like with a group like Hard, for example, they're not that popular in Korea. So if they go out and do activities, they're not going to get the support during, you know, those times in which they go out. But when they go out internationally, they're going to get a lot of support. And I feel like it's the same with Rise. But the thing is that the company doesn't want. It almost seems as though they just don't want to support their members. I don't know. Okay, it's a horrible situation. I don't want to make it about Tail, but I'm gonna have to mention him anyway. The company knew for like, let's say like 2 weeks. Let's just say like the 14th of September, 14th of August even. They found out that Tail was going to be investigated. They kept him in the group for that amount of time. But the second he is being investigated, they're like, nah, we're gonna drop him. And, you know, with Lucas, you know, instead of investigating and like checking the facts and actually talking to Lucas, they were like, nah, we're going to put him on hiatus for like a year and a half and then take him out of his group and make him wait even longer for his solo debut, which we're not even going to really support at all, not giving him a good song. And then we're going to basically put him back in the basement because we don't like him, because he caused us issues. And, you know, it feels a lot like as though SM Rise, like it seems like they're so close to doing the right thing and actually, you know, listening to fans and not, you know, screwing it up. Like, they are so close and yet just fumble the bag. They just are like noping it out. It's so close. SM, if you're listening to this, if anyone from SM's listening to this, first of all, no hate, no shade, no nothing. Don't even, please. You know, I'm just saying what I think. Your management style is kind of bad. I'm just going to put it out there. It feels as though, you know, for example, Renjun from your group NCT Dream, you know, he was being hated on for his appearance, right? He gained a little bit of weight. He looked fine, by the way. He looked fine. You know, he looked a little bit fuller in his face, but, you know, that's a thing. Weight tends to go on your face first and then distribute throughout your body. You saw that he was struggling, put him on hiatus, which is fine. You know, you didn't force him to not post. You didn't let us fans kind of be like, Renjun, like, you still have Renjun. Like, you didn't make it feel as though he was gone. Right. So you let him go off, recover and stuff, and then come back for the English single, right? That was a good thing. In the same group, in a different subunit, you find out that a member is potentially doing very inappropriate things with a women, committing crime, and yet you still let him promote and do stuff around the other members, probably not even telling them. And then as soon as he's being investigated, are like, no, like, he's going. I'm like, yeah, yeah, you let him go. You didn't keep him around, but I mean, it's like it feels a bit like a little bit too, like not enough too late. Like you were almost there. You almost did the right thing, but then you just kind of gave up halfway, you know. Like I was messaging my family actually. I was like texting on our group chat, and I just completely forgot to add the ending of my sentence. So it did still make sense, but yeah, I was like, what is wrong with me? It kind of feels like that, of like, you know, the intention was there, but you just kind of gave up almost. And I'm like, please investigate your idols. If an allegation like that comes up, this is just me personally talking. If I was a CEO of a company and one of my employees, one of my idols, if I was the CEO of SM and I heard what was going on with Seunghan, I would like the allegations. I'll bring him in and I'll be like, dude, I'm not annoyed, you know, by what's happening right now. I just want to know, like, what did you do before you became an idol? Just so we know. You know, did you have any relationships? Did you smoke? Did you drink? Did you do all of this stuff? And if it was like, oh yeah, no, I had a few relationships, you know, I was a bit of a lad, you know, that's fine because at least we know. And if, you know, on the other vein of thought, if I find out that one of my employees potentially committed a sex crime, I wouldn't be as like nice, obviously. I would be a bit more like, you know, this is like a serious accusation right now. Like, obviously I can't say what has and hasn't happened. You know, I would prefer to do a audit on you and your activities and all of this stuff. And you know, I think I would prefer to have them be put on hiatus. Maybe not like a public one, but like an internal company hiatus of that, like you can't come to the company building whilst we're investigating, we're taking your like devices, your company laptop, or not company laptop, like your phone and stuff, and we're going to do checks, we're going to investigate, and you know, we can put you on a more public hiatus if we find anything, and like do a proper investigation. You know, we'll remove you from the group if we feel like we have to, and this, that, and the further. If it comes out publicly, we'll have to put out a statement and stuff like that. But it's like it's so close to what, you know, you would want to happen. But then it's like the uncanny valley, you know, almost with like robot people. It could be okay, it could make sense, it could be all right, but there is something obviously about like what we're seeing that's like not quite there. It gives you the ick, you know. It's just not right. And you know, SM feels like the biggest uncanny valley company like ever, and it kind of weirds me out just knowing that, you know, we put so much support into these groups, and then their company, who is SM Entertainment, has been around for like, when did SM form? I actually don't know, because believe it or not, you can believe this or not, I actually don't keep up with, or at least I don't know a lot of the time when these companies form. I'm a weirdo, but I'm not like that level of. I say it as though it's like a meme thing. I don't do that much research on these companies, believe me, I don't really care. It's just that I happen to know when Big Hit, now known as Hive, formed, obviously 2005, just because of like BTS and all that good stuff. But it became SM Studio in 1989 to 1995, which is then it became SM Entertainment, which was 29 years ago, but 35 as SM Studio. And I'm like, your company is 35 years old. 35. that is a very long time. And I get that, like, obviously you've had issues with your company structure, the people in charge being changed. I get that. But I think that, you know, there should be at least some level of consensus of that. We're not going to remove people. We're not going to remove artists who are liked by the vast majority of fans, even if the Korean fans don't like it, you know, because at the end of the day, groups can still be good even if they don't have a domestic fan base. And yes, the domestic fans can retract their support. They can do boycotts. They can do this, that, and the third, but it doesn't mean that, you know, someone of Seunghan's talents should have to leave because the fans, the Korean fans don't like him. It's kind of the same as like Garam's situation. She did some stuff pre-debut. You know, she defended a friend and she got punished for it. Fine. You know, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have been punished at the time. She got punished for what she did. She did the time. I don't know what she, like, I can't remember the specifics, but like, you get what I'm talking about. My laptop's about to die soon. I don't think that she should have, there we go. I don't think she should have been kicked out. Like, for sure, put her on hiatus. Like, yeah, you did the right thing in that sense, so that, you know, the other members can carry on doing what they're doing, you know. And she could have been at the company helping them with like establishing what happened, that sort of stuff. Like, you could have, like, for sure, keep her on hiatus for that sort of stuff. But I'm like, why do you keep on doing this? Why are you so bad at keeping artists in your company? Like, it's actually not funny at all. Like, at all. Because you lost Minsok, Baekhyun, and Jongdae from EXO. Xiumin, Baekhyun, and Chen, by the way, just in case you don't know their real names. You lost Sunny from Girls' Generation. Like, she left the company, not the group. Jessica, you know, she left the group and the company because she had a fashion brand. You know, that's not good. Obviously Jungmin from, I think that's his name, Jungmin from NCT Wish, you know, he wasn't well, so he didn't debut. Just like fair, you know, don't debut if you don't feel well. Just trying to remember. 3 of the members from Super Junior, they left. Obviously we have the other members of EXO who actually left the group and the company. He didn't renew his contract and also has been like a soloist for like ages. So I'm like, why are you so bad at keeping artists in your company? It's like these kids keep on joining the company, and I'm like, I'm not saying that they're silly. I'm not saying that. But I'm also thinking to myself, like, you're not dumb. You can read the news. I'm like, why do you keep on going to the company if, like, the company's kind of bad? I don't know. It's like the same thing with there's a subsidiary. There's like quite a lot of the time companies have subsidiaries, which is like mini companies where in which they are managed majority by a different company. So for example, Hybe, that's the main company. Big Hit Music is a subsidiary. Source Music, subsidiary. KOZ Entertainment, subsidiary. They are managed by themselves. They manage themselves, but big boy decisions come from Hybe. So a group's members, perhaps, or a group's concept, they have to, the subsidiaries have to go to the big boy company and get permission, which is why perhaps, maybe, potentially, Eyelet has a similar concept to New Jeans. I don't think they do, but Hybe has to do the okay on concepts and releases and that sort of general thing, so that, you know, the company maybe perhaps is doing well. And SM has a subsidiary called Mystic Story, and Mystic Story has a group called Billy and Arc under in their company. let's do a little bit of cheeky research. Some entertainment subsidiaries. Whilst I'm typing that out and like finding the information, can I also just say I love Rise's music? It's actually really good. It reminds me a lot of S Club 7, which is like a bubblegum pop group back in the 2000s, mainly in the UK, and they honestly remind me so much of that. Obviously a little bit more mature boy group vibe and Korean, but yeah, no, it reminds me a lot of that, and I actually really like it. Right, can't speak today, like that vibe, because it reminds me a lot of my childhood. But yeah, no, SM Entertainment subsidiaries. We have no, fuck off. Sorry, that was an advert and I didn't want it. I actually love sometimes where in which I'll just suddenly like switch into like from being like really professional to like just like my own actual feelings and like my own what I just say in general. I can't explain it, but like sometimes I will just randomly like swear in my everyday life. Like I'll just be doing something, a bug will come and attack me and I'm just like fuck off. And I've done it actually when I've been doing a puzzle and I was eating something and I say a swear word and my dad was listening, was just like didn't have his headphones on so he could hear me and he was like, oh Fee, and I was like, you're listening, you don't have your headphones on right now? And he was like, no, naughty, don't swear. So yeah, no, that was pretty funny. Yeah, so subsidiaries, we have SM Studios, which underneath even more subsidiaries. So obviously we have SM Culture and Contents, SM Life Design Group, Dear You, Mystic Story and Key East. And in general they have SM Tintin Hall, SM Entertainment Japan, SM Academy, SM Art Company, Dreammaker Entertainment, SM Pictures, SM Amusement, SM FB Development, SM Entertainment USA, SM Town Travel, SM Entertainment Beijing, SM Mobile Communications, Galaxy SM, Team, SM Planner, Everything Creation Music Rights, which underneath has Monetary, The Hub, Smash Hit and Custom Made. And then last but no means least we have Crucialize. I will actually be looking at that later, all of those things later. So I do actually do research after often when I'm I've done an episode and I'm like, oh, I found something interesting, I'll be like, ain't that interesting? Yeah, so if you recognise the name Custom Made is actually the company in which Kim Woo-jin, former Stray Kids member, is actually under. They used to have 10X Entertainment, which housed Woo-jin for about 4 years, but now they've been made different, which is a shame because I thought they're a very weird company. I did like the company. I was a company stan of 10X Entertainment because I thought they were so weird and I kind of loved it. It was so weird. So yeah, as I was saying, we're talking about Mystic Story. Mystic Story, they actually know how to treat their artists, kind of. I'm saying it like as though I know the company personally. I don't. By the way, I just need to point that out that I don't actually know any of these things, any of these companies personally. I just talk about them. Wow, their logos were kind of weird before 2019. I actually like the alternative one with the 2 circles and then like Mystic Story underneath instead of it being like Mystic. Yeah, Mystic, 2 circles and then Story. I don't know, I kind of like smaller logos, which probably explains why my one is quite packed in. I should probably change it actually, now that we're in the episodes. I didn't do a special minute because I forgot and I can't be bothered. So, by the way, I had my flu jab, like I said, and I might be getting a little cold. I don't know. So, the reason why I say that Mystic Story does well by their artists, when Moonbin passed away, they instantly put Billy on hiatus because obviously one of the members, Suwa, is Tense's logic is Moonbin's sister. And, you know, obviously that's just like being a nice person, like a nice company. But, you know, they put them on hiatus and were like, you know, we wanna make sure that Sua's okay. They had her come back. And then she went on hiatus again for how long was it? Let's see. This is why I can't be trusted to say things off the top of my head without like actually physically like seeing the evidence on screen, because I'm always so scared of like messing it up and then making a tit of myself. Yeah. So so on the 24th, it was 5 days. Yeah, 5 days after Moonbin's passing that they went on hiatus. So that should make sense. And then they announced like, oh yeah, no, like she's gonna not be on the Japanese promotions. She came back in June, and literally like 3 days later, another member called Seunghan actually went on hiatus for health reasons. And then Mystic Story obviously announced that Sua would be going on hiatus again on the 12th of September, and they did do a few releases after that, but then it wasn't until actually the 12th of April, which I thought was a very odd time to announce it, that them two would be returning from hiatus. The only reason I say that is obviously because like 5 days later, I can't speak today, bloody hell. 5 days later, it was announced that 5 days later, it would have been a year since her brother's passing. So I'm like, I mean, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say anything about anything. I'm not judging when I'm saying this. You know, I'm just speaking from what I kind of feel as like a person. That I would have, you know, waited until the anniversary, done something, and then come back. So then, you know, there isn't that, you know, fear, or they, I don't know. It's odd. I don't know how to explain it, but I would have, you know, even done it like on the 20th. So then, you know, I could have had that time still in hiatus and then come back. But I mean, I'm sure she did something anyway, and I don't really care. This isn't a criticism on anything. I'm just, you know, speaking from whatever. But the fact of the matter is that they didn't waste any time, and I don't get why a subsidiary of a company can be so good at managing and marketing and doing all of that for a group, and then, you know, their parent company is SM and like makes the choices that they make. But I mean, SM has every right to, you know, manage themselves however they manage themselves. I'm not directly judging. I'm just, you know, doing the little bit of the side eye and being like, are you sure that this is the best, you know, the best decision you could have made? I mean, I'm too scared to say anything about that. That is what it is. Obviously they also have Keys, which I feel like had a few issues, didn't they? They had Jisoo, is it? Oh yeah, they did. They had Jisoo. They only had him for a year. So I'm like, again, they just instantly, but they like let him go. I'm like, your parent company is terrible at making decisions about their artists. I don't understand. Why are they so bad? Again, I would just like to clarify, I am making no claims to know how they make their decisions, and, you know, I'm not criticizing. This is just me talking out of my ass. No, I'm just, you know, please don't hate me. I'm just speaking, and I'm making comments that might not be true to how SM actually functions. I don't know them personally. They just might get nervous. They might not be able to fully you know, communicate their ideas, and that's fine, because sometimes when I get nervous, I obviously like instantly need to go to the toilet to go for a wee, and then I sometimes need to go to the toilet again for another wee, and it's kind of a bit awkward because then my parents are like, "Are you okay, Sophie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm actually completely fine. I just need to pee again because I get nervous." Yeah, I can't believe I just said that on the internet. But yeah, I'm like, I get nervous, and that's okay because, you know, we don't always make the best decisions when we're nervous. But yeah, no. Like, I just don't get why, like, a company like SM, who's like 35 years old, is not making the best decisions. But, you know, it is what it is. And I hope that whatever comes from the future, that the artists perhaps get treated a little bit better, but I don't know. But yeah, thank you as always for listening. This has been me. My name is Sophie, by the way, if you forgot. I do normally make episodes on a... Well, actually, I changed, didn't I? I made them on Tuesday and a Thursday and a Sunday, I don't know. But I'm just going to make episodes whenever now. Probably again tomorrow, I don't know. But yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I will talk to you again, hopefully, very, very soon. Bye!